everybody, it's SaskiaSketches, and today I'm going to be reacting to the April Fool's video that TYPE40ARTIST'S made for me. Let's get into it. Before we begin, I am going to preface this by saying that I have already watched the video, but TYPE40 told me to make a reaction to it anyway and correct some of the lore stuff. As some of you might know, there's a lot of lore that goes into the elemental animal characters, and I usually don't talk about it on the YouTube channel because I feel like I just confuse everybody who hasn't read the screenplay. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun to just go through this video because it's a really fun video and I had so much fun making it with him. So yeah, let's just go through it together.
Hey everybody, it's SaskiaSketches and I'm going to be drawing some of my elementals. Can't wait to get into it.
Yep, drawing some elementals, that's fine, that's correct. Good terminology there.
Serenity, the water panda, based on the red panda.
She actually is a red panda, so that's the something that happens with the elementals is that they start out as an ordinary animal, and then at some point I share my soul with them in the story, and my magic. So they're basically they're a combination of an actual animal, and then my soul, and then my magic. So that is why she's not based on a red panda. She actually is a red panda, but got turned into an elemental along the way somewhere.
Which I've got a reference here. Serenity is the embodiment of peace and tranquility.
Actually, she isn't. I understand why her name might give that that idea, because obviously serenity, meaning serenity, you know, meaning what it means. But TYPE40 is correct in saying here that the elementals all embody something. So as you remember like a couple seconds ago when I explained that the elementals are also carry a part of my soul with them, they each have a specific part of my soul with them. So there's just a part of who I am, part of my personality. Serenity is not serenity, I guess, in that regard. She doesn't carry serenity with her. I do have an elemental that represents calmness, which is Kyumu, like way back when I first drew him. I don't remember what episode. I can look it up real quick. Episode 6. Yeah, I drew him in episode 6. And Sergeant, who we're going to see a little bit later in this video, represents inner peace. So that's something like this, but Serenity actually represents my autism. So that's what she symbolizes in the story and stuff.
So she's always there when I need the quiet times, or she may visit me when I'm already in a quiet time.
She may visit me. Aww. It's really sweet. The elementals actually do, like, they're a part of me, right? So they don't really come and go in that sense. They're always with me.
I find her very useful in stressful situations or anxious situations.
Any and all elementals are very useful in stressful and anxious situations. Just because especially like some specific elementals like Atlas or Keon. Keon represents my trauma, but not just my trauma, but also the strength to deal with it. And in the same way, Atlas represents my PTSD, but also the strength to deal with it. So in that sense, my trauma and my PTSD are definitely a part of me, right? They're not my whole identity, and if I didn't have them, I would still be me. So that's why the strength to deal with them as well is a part of them. Because I, believe it or not, I don't really like my trauma, and I don't really like having PTSD and stuff. So that's why I add that little bit of extra on it. But obviously, all the elementals are just a big part of me, and they're all very helpful in any stressful situation. If you've read the screenplay, you'll know this. But yeah, that's if you haven't read the screenplay, why are you watching this video? This is not going to make any sense to you.
Where I just need to have that little bit of tranquility. I'm sure we all need tranquility every now and again. So yes,
We absolutely do need tranquility every now and then.
she's really fun to draw, this one, as it is based on a red panda, but giving her the water elemental.
Giving her the water elemental. So the terminology in terms of the law isn't entirely correct. I just want to preface this by saying I don't think Type 40 has read much of my screenplay, and I'm not like bashing him or blaming him for anything for like not knowing the law, because there is so much law. Seriously, I need a spreadsheet to keep track of it all. So I don't blame anybody for not knowing this. I just think it's fun to just discuss this and talk about it and stuff, because I don't really get the opportunity to. So yeah, she was turned into an element, into a water elemental, rather than I gave her the water element.
It's kind of fun to see all those reds turned into blue tones. I thought.
Yeah, that is very fun. I love doing. I did that with Rox as well. So Rox was the first elemental animal that I ever made. He's a red fox, but also a water fox now, so that his coat is blue now rather than red.
It was quite a fun little comparison, or no, what's the word? Not comparison, but contrast.
I do this all the time. I forget words all the time. It's not because I'm stupid, okay? It's because I speak multiple languages. And contrast, yes, I love contrast. He got this right. Oh, contrast is like the best thing in artwork ever. Like, it's so important.
That's the word. Nice little contrast. So I do add these nice, really light cyan to her face to give off that really sort of whiteness that the red panda has in its own face.
Yeah, that's correct. That's why that's there.
Yeah, if you guys haven't read up about the red panda, I do highly recommend it. It's quite an interesting species, the only one of its kind, or only one of its category, although it is usually split into two separate species, depending on the location and the look.
I love that. I said before before he recorded this, I sent him like a bunch of info on the red panda because we were talking about it. I love that he was like, oh yeah, let's share that with everybody, because I am so like that. Whenever you like ask me about an animal, I will go on and talk about them forever, because special interests. Very, very applicable for Serenity, my autism here.
But here we have Serenity, and let's get into the next one, shall we?
Woo, Jira! Oh, this one is so much fun.
So next up we have Jira, the fire leopard. Now Jira represents a different kind of quiet, to Serenity, kind of the opposite of Serenity, if you will. A kind of smouldering quiet. If you can
She actually represents resilience.
imagine sitting around a campfire, getting lost in thought, just staring at the flame, and getting sort of lost in your own world, I suppose. That's Jira's personality.
That is what Jira's personality is like, though.
As always, had a really lot of fun drawing this one. Always enjoy drawing my big cats.
Yes, I do. Don't call me out.
Of course. So starting off here with the undercoat, or the undercolor of Jira, and yeah, it's already looking fabulous.
Thank you.
And then going in with the spots, starting with the head and moving on to the shoulders.
Oh gosh, just the leopard spots, yes. Oh, they always take so long.
Now you might think that doing all these spots is painstakingly tedious,
And you'd be right.
but it's one of those things, kind of like what I was saying before, staring into the flame. You just kind of zone out and get it done, and it's actually quite therapeutical.
That's true as well. Like there's a duality to drawing leopards and jaguars and animals with lots of spots, especially leopards, because whereas jaguars do have a lot of spots as well, the spots are larger, so there's less of them, and cheetahs have also do have a lot of spots, but their spots are a lot simpler, so you can just do dots, right? It just dot work. It doesn't take that long, but jaguars and leopards have very complicated rosette patterns for their spots, so it always takes a long time to get them right.
In a way. So yeah, this is the part where I really wanted to get the patterning right. So I've drawn some sort of guidelines and then lowered the opacity, and then with the spots I just follow those guidelines just to make sure that I've kept it really in line with this bit, because you know, some parts there, if you don't get it quite right, you can sort of get lost. Wanted to get the spacing right, just so it didn't look like there was, you know, any huge gaps or anything like that. But yeah, Jira.
Exactly, that's exactly why I do that. I don't do that often. Usually, I'm able to keep track of the spots just fine. But with leopards, especially like I mentioned before, there's a lot of spots and there's a lot of complicated patterns, and I really wanted to get the flow of the coat right.
Has really turned out fantastically.
Thank you.
Obviously haven't added the flames yet, but I will get to that point. But just as a drawing of a regular leopard, I think we've reached a really nice point here. Just adding the finer details to the spots, and then we'll move on to the flames.
Yeah, I was really happy with how she turned out as well.
And now getting on to doing the fire, and I just really enjoy the process of doing the fire here.
I do.
Here on this one, I think I've said it before, but I've tried a few different methods of drawing fire, and
That's correct.
Landed on this one for now. I really love the way that this fire turns out. Really super dynamic, and looks really cool on all the elemental animals that I do.
Thank you.
And I think that Jira looks especially majestic here with her flames surrounding her, if I do say so myself.
Yes, bless her. I'm so happy with how this drawing turned out. So happy with her. She looks so pretty. Kind of sad that I didn't get to do the actual voiceover for this one, because I really love how this drawing turned out. But yeah, it's cool. TYPE40 did a really good job.
And let's move on to Breeder here. As you can see, I did a little bit of quick tracing for the reference image that I had, mainly just for the proportions, but I do the majority of the sketch and all the line work completely freehand, of course, to give it that uniqueness, of course.
Yeah, that's correct. I use a modified bug method to do my sketches, and usually what I do is I take 1 or 2 or maybe 3, 4 references and I mash them all together, and I go for one reference mainly for the pose and stuff, or I combine a couple of references to create a custom pose, and I use that method to get the initial sketch down, and I do like I don't trace over anything. I do draw everything myself, but I do some adjustment based on the reference, just to get the proportions and stuff right, like he said. Because I mean I could do it freehand, but it'd just take a lot longer, and would get similar results. I just think it's important when you're doing this sort of stuff that you're open about it, right? That you're not passing this off as your own, right? I'm showing that I'm doing this just for the process, speeding it up, and being efficient about it, and learning through it as well. Because I'm also noticing that the more elementals that I draw, the less I have to adjust based on the reference and stuff. But yeah, it's so this is fine. This is, obviously something that's fine to do, something that you're absolutely allowed to do as an artist, as long as, obviously the majority of your drawing is freehand, and you only make like minor adjustments, and don't trace over other people's artwork and stuff.
So yeah, this is Breeder the Earth Goose. No, I don't know really much to say about this one, but getting the colours in and just choosing some really quick earth tones to really bring home that earth element in her.
Breed as a guy.
Yeah, I'm really running out of things to say on this one. So, anyone would think that I don't know my own characters that I created, but I definitely do, because I am Saskia of SaskiaSketches. This is
so much confidence in that voice.
my channel with my characters, and I definitely know them. I don't know why you would think that I don't. So yeah, this one is almost finished, and let's watch the rest of the process.
Yeah, I had a little bit of trouble with this one. Whilst I was working on him, especially like the green bit. I really wanted to get those feathers to look natural and right. And it took a couple tries and adjustments, but I feel like I got a good middle ground eventually, and I really like the way that he looks in the end. So yeah, we're happy with that one. Especially like the final details with the little hard brush. I always love doing those. It's really fun. I like how he came out.
Look at Breeder, isn't she beautiful? I really like the way this one turned out. I really, really like that shine on the feathers that you do get with many of the water birds.
Thank you.
Yeah, now moving on to Fauna, the air doe.
Yep.
So I'm actually doing two versions of this one.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just doing a quick proportion scale there, and then getting in with the line work. But yeah, as I mentioned, doing two versions, doing her younger version and her older version, which I think is fun. I've done that with a few others, and it's worked out really well. So this one's pretty simple colouring, very airy.
Yeah, I do that for a couple elementals because they've been turned into elementals when they were younger. So that means so when I turn an elemental into an animal into an elemental animal, there's three possibilities. The first possibility is that they're younger than me. The second one is that they're the same age as me, and the third one is that they're older than me. So in the for the lore, what happens when they're younger than me is they keep aging at their own rate. Or at an increased rate if they're a species that ages very slowly, until they match my age, and then they age at my rate alongside me, which is also what happens when I meet an elemental, when I create an elemental that is my own age, is that they continue to age, but at my pace. So that might be slower for some species and quicker for other species. And then there's the possibility that they're older than me, and that's when they completely stop aging until I turn their age, and then they continue aging with me at my rate. So I know it's very complicated and stuff, but like that's what happens, and that's why they don't, why they stay with me throughout all my life in the story, and why they're, why old dogs, why my senior dog character is going to stay his exact same age for the majority of his lifetime now. So that's very interesting.
Very light, very cloudy colouring, and yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, Fauna was fun. I really enjoyed the airbrush and stuff. I feel like I said this before, but I had a little bit of trouble with the air elementals color scheme for the first part of the elemental challenge, ultimate elemental animal challenge, but now I feel like I've really figured it out, and I just love the way that this color scheme works so well, and I'm so happy with it. I think it looks
just
so
getting
pretty.
in with the final touches here, adding the dots that you will often see in does naturally.
Yeah, so most deer do have the little spots when they're younger, but then age out of them when they're older. But axis deer, which is what Fauna is, they keep their spots all throughout their life.
And yeah, I think that the spots actually accent the air elemental really well. So yeah, really love the way this one's turned out, and let's see how the adult version of Fauna turns out. So again, doing some really quick perspective sketches here, and then just sort of realigning.
It's not necessarily perspective, it's just getting the initial pose right and the alignment and stuff.
There just to make sure that that it does still look like a doe, and yeah, this one was really fun to do. I did try to make it so that the snout didn't look, or the nose I should say, didn't look too
Deer actually do have snouts.
too long, but still looked just right for Fauna. And yeah,
Yeah, deer actually do have quite long faces if you think about it.
I think I've done a pretty good job there.
Thank you.
Really wanted to get her in a very actiony pose, you know, running or galloping, I should say.
Do deer gallop? I don't know, actually. Do deer gallop? Oh, they do. That's interesting.
And yeah, just like the child version, I think this one has really come together quite nicely. What do you guys think?
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this one as well.
And we're almost done with Fauna here. By the way, have you guys hit the like button on this video yet? If you haven't, you should go ahead and do it now. Now is your time to hit the like button. If not for me, do it for Fauna. Fauna would really like you to hit the like button. But
Yeah, guys, like the video because Fauna would like you too.
that is quite enough of what Fauna would like. Let's move on to Nira, the light giraffe. So Nira would actually really like you to subscribe, because Nira can get a little bit lonely, and
Aww. I mean, they don't really, but you know, because all the elementals very much intertwined with me and with each other, so they're never alone. But maybe she gets lonely. I don't know. Do you really want Nira to be lonely? Maybe you should subscribe. Oh my gosh.
and she would like as many subscribers as she can get. So do please subscribe for Nira's sake. But all that aside, I did have a lot of fun drawing Nira, especially towards
I did.
the end where I get into the colouring and adding some of the light effects, which you will see soon. But yeah, she turns out really beautiful and stunning. So
Aw, thank you.
keep watching for that.
Yeah, she was really fun to draw. I don't draw a lot of giraffes, but I always love drawing animals that I don't draw a lot of. So it's really fun to study them and to really figure out how do I draw this effectively, I guess. I love drawing her hooves especially. They're so pretty. The giraffes are so gorgeous. Do you know that their hooves are like the size of a dinner plate? It's crazy. They're huge animals. The spots especially were really fun. I love doing animal markings. Like, they're so gorgeous, the spots, and so unique as well. So many different type of giraffe spots as well. It's very interesting to research and stuff.
And here we have the final product of Nira, the light giraffe. Glowing, beautiful as always. Yeah, really love the way this one's turned out, like I mentioned before. What do you guys think? Anyway, moving on to Sergeant, the shadow zebra. Yeah, so as always, just trying to get the proportions right for this one. If you don't get the proportions right, it can quite easily look like a different animal, especially with these horse-like animals.
That's true. With equine, you really need to watch the type of animal that you're drawing, right? Because especially with Sergeant here, because Sergeant is a mountain zebra, not a plain zebra. So the first reference image that I had was of a plain zebra. So because I liked that pose, so I wanted to use that pose, but with a different type of zebra. So I had I referenced this image of a mountain zebra to get the proportions and stuff right. And still the pose from this other reference picture, right? So I'm not just copying one photograph, I'm really using and combining a lot of different references to get my character right. Mountain zebras are really pretty, actually. You should definitely look up some pictures. They're so gorgeous. This one is kind of filthy, but look up some prettier zebras. This one is just in the right pose. That's why I use this reference image. But they're really gorgeous animals.
We don't want a zebra looking like a donkey or...
Right, especially with horses. When you're drawing horses, you really need to pay attention to the breed of the horse, because different horses are going to look very different. And I'm not just talking about draft horses and ordinary horses, but like if you look at the way an Akotiki differs from an Arabian horse, they're still very different, even though they're quite similar in build, maybe. So it's always very good to look at the specific type of horse or donkey that you're drawing, because there's again lots of different type of breeds of donkeys and stuff. So if you're drawing a donkey, make sure you know what donkey you're drawing.
Something, but I do think that I did get the proportions right on this one. You guys tell me if I did.
I think I did a good job.
I do think it looks like a zebra, and
yeah, I'd hope so.
It's turning out really nice, I think. So
thank you. Stop with the flattery.
Yeah, really enjoyed the process of this one, as per usual.
I really enjoyed it. That's really fun. Yeah, you can really tell them going back and forth between all these references to get the different parts of the animal to look right.
What else is there to say about Sergeant? He's dark, he's mysterious, he's a bit of a dark horse, I guess you could say. But no, he's
not really.
actually quite playful.
Playful. I guess a little bit. So I said before that he represents inner peace. He plays a big part in season 2 as well. So for those of you who've read the screenplay, you'll know this character very well, because you've seen a lot of him. Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily call him playful. He's a little bit anxious at first, but he grows to be more calm and more peace throughout the story.
And sweet. So
he is very sweet.
So once you get to know him, he is really a gentle soul.
That's true.
Not only that, but he really likes apples.
Yeah, right. The elementals can't eat. So that would be very tragic if he loved apples but couldn't eat them. Oh, bless him. Yeah, there's another bit of the law is that anything that they needed in order to survive, that they don't need anymore right now, those like systems are shut off completely. So they can't eat, they can't drink, they can't sleep, they can't reproduce, they can't do a whole majority of things. They do still need to breathe, but they get all the stuff that they need to survive when they transition to the spiritual realm. So there's the physical realm, and then there's the spiritual realm, and the elementals can transition between them. And when they are residing in the spiritual realm, they get to heal up, and they get all the everything that they need in order to survive. They get from there. But they still need to breathe, because it'd be impractical for them to switch back and forth every time they needed to breathe. So they do still need to breathe, but they can't like heal or anything on their own. They need to go to the spiritual realm to heal. Some elementals can, but that's different. There's some like special powers that they can acquire. But that's even more complicated and not applicable to these elementals, so I'm not going to go into that.
Yep, I've just decided that just now. He really likes apples.
Aw. Poor Sarge, he can't eat them.
Can you tell them I'm running out of things to say?
I think I can, yes.
I think you can. Yeah, let's keep going with the drawing, shall we?
No, and again, like, I love that Type 40 is just being so creative and just making stuff up on the spot. It's really fun to watch, and it just I love it. It's really, really enjoyable to just watch this video that is very clearly me and my style and my art and stuff, but then have him dub it, I guess. It's really fun. I enjoy it. And these stripes were so much fun to do. I really enjoyed them.
You might have noticed that during this video I have sounded a little bit different, and I do have a confession to make actually. I, as an April Fool's joke, did steal Type 40 Artist's voice, so this is why I sound so different. But look, don't be alarmed. I am going to give it back. It is just a joke. In the meantime, you guys should go visit his channel.
You absolutely should. You should go to the link in the first link in the description, click on it, watch his videos, subscribe, like everything, all the good stuff. Do that now. It's important.
He has some really great art as well.
He does. He does.
And, you know, once he gets his voice back, he'll, I'm sure he'll tell you all about it
yeah.
himself. But, yeah. What did you guys think of this video? Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. This was really fun.
Would you like to see more?
I would. Maybe we should do a collab. Type 40, hit me up if you see this video. Let's do another collab. Woo.
I think that I've made it clear that you guys should like and subscribe already. But one thing that I don't often tell you is to hit that notification bell.
You don't really have to if you don't want to.
As well.
I mean, I am very, very, very consistent with my schedule. Like, I upload every Friday at 3 o'clock CT sharp. So, you know, if you really need a notification to remind you, go ahead, put the notification on. But it's not required. You don't have to.
It will keep you updated for all new videos that are coming out.
That I guess it will do.
Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. This was really, really fun. Thank you again so much to TYPE40ARTIST'S for doing this with me. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys did as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more art videos every single Friday. Have a great weekend, guys, and keep on sketching. Bye!